Stop. Breathe. Look down. Right now, you are sitting on a cheap, plastic toilet seat in the International Arrivals Hall of Miami or New York, sweating through a borrowed suit. You are surrounded by the scent of industrial cleaner and the low hum of distant traffic, but all you can smell is the faint, acrid chemical odor of cocaine. Because you are a mule. Inside you, or strapped tight to your body, are dozens of pellets, maybe a kilo of the highest purity product worth over $30,000 on the street. Your job is complete. You survived the flight. The customs agent smiled at you. You just need to walk out that door, make the drop, and you're free. But you are not free. Not yet. Because the most dangerous part of this journey isn't the border. It's the two men waiting for you in a black car who will decide in the next 5 minutes whether you live or die. To understand why it sucks to be a cartel mule, you first have to understand the Medellín cartel. In the late 1970s and 1980s, this wasn't just a gang. It was a multinational, ultra-violent corporation. Led by the infamous Pablo Escobar and his partners, the cartel controlled an estimated 80% of the world's cocaine market and brought in hundreds of millions of dollars per week. They operated on a clear philosophy known as plata o plomo, meaning take the bribe or take the bullet. The mule, like our hypothetical person, Maria, is a disposable asset. They are not a cartel lieutenant, not a chemist, not even a bodyguard. Maria is an ordinary citizen in Colombia, or perhaps a desperate immigrant in a foreign country, trapped by poverty. The cartel doesn't recruit from the wealthy, they prey on the vulnerable. Maria is often recruited through a debt, an addiction, or, most commonly, a promise of a few $1,000s. A sum that could change her family's life in a blink. The recruiters, or captors, are known to approach people near unemployment centers or in deep poverty, leveraging their desperation. It's a form of debt bondage under the guise of an opportunity. The moment Maria accepts the money, she is no longer an employee. She is property. She is the vessel for the cartel's product. The cartel employs various transportation methods, from submarines to private jets. But the human mule is the most cost-effective and deniable. The work starts long before the airport. It begins with the packaging. The cocaine is condensed into tightly wrapped, finger-sized pellets, often latex-wrapped condoms or surgical gloves. A single mule can carry anywhere from 1 to 3 kilograms, 2.2 to 6.6 pounds of product. The methods of concealment are horrifying. Swallowers, forced to ingest up to 100 or more pellets, which then pass through the digestive tract. Body packers, pellets are surgically sewn or taped into a cavity in the body. Carry-ons, drugs hidden in luggage, shoes, or false-bottomed briefcases. For the swallower, the risk is immediate and terrifying, the rupture of a single pellet. If one of those small packages breaks, the contents, pure cocaine, flood the mule system, causing an immediate, violent, and agonizing overdose. We're talking about cardiac arrest, stroke, and organ failure within minutes. This is not a gradual death. It's a terrifying explosion inside your own body. The journey itself is a 3-day tightrope walk. You cannot eat or drink anything that could loosen the packets. You are given anti-diarrhea medication and drugs to slow your metabolism. You spend the entire flight and the time waiting in transit in a state of controlled dehydration and extreme, paralyzing fear. Every cough, every strange glance, every stomach rumble is a potential death sentence. And when you finally reach the destination city, the cartel handler meets you not with a hug and a paycheck, but with a question. Is the package safe? The Medellín cartel's control is absolute. They don't rely on trust. They rely on terror and isolation. First, the debt. While the mule is promised a sum, a portion of that money is instantly paid to the recruiter, the packager, the hotel room, and the travel tickets. The mule's actual take-home is often a fraction of the promised amount, immediately placing them in a loop of debt that can only be repaid by running a second or third trip. They are never truly out. Second, the family. This is the cartel's most vicious and effective mechanism of control. The cartel knows where the mule's mother, siblings, or children live. They have associates in the neighborhood. The threat is always made crystal clear. If you fail, your family pays the price. This means the mule is motivated not by money, but by the primal need to protect the people they love from the cartel's retribution. Third, the rules of the cage. Upon arrival, the mule is often taken to a safe house, a sterile, cold apartment. They are monitored constantly, sometimes with a guard who doesn't speak their language. They are stripped of their passport and phone. If they are a swallower, the process of recovery is brutal and humiliating. They are forced to pass the pellets under supervision to ensure every single gram is accounted for. Any missing package is treated as a theft, an act of treason against the cartel, and the punishment is swift and uncompromising. The physical risk of rupture is immediate, but the mental toll is a slow, corrosive poison. Imagine the psychological landscape of a mule. For 2 days, you are a walking biohazard, carrying a death sentence inside your stomach. Every person you see, the flight attendant, the person next to you, the border agent, is a potential captor. You must perform the hardest, most vital role in the global drug supply chain while maintaining the absolute blankness of a civilian on vacation. This is the loss of identity. You are no longer Maria. You are a package. Your entire worth is tied to the integrity of the plastic around a single kilogram of white powder.
Some mules try to escape. They may panic and confess to a flight attendant. They may try to ditch their packages and run. The consequences for an attempted escape or a failure to deliver the product are often fatal. The cartel views a confiscated package as a $30,000 loss, and they will often exact a price far greater than that from the person responsible or their family as a deterrent to the thousands of other mules waiting in the pipeline. This makes the thought of freedom often feel more terrifying than the prospect of a successful run. What is the end game for the drug mule? It rarely ends with a peaceful retirement. The exit is usually one of 3 ways, none of them good.
Exit 1, the internal rupture. We've talked about this. It is a death that happens alone, in a hotel room or on a plane. The police find the body, the evidence is clear, and the mule dies anonymously, a casualty of their own desperation. Exit 2, arrest and imprisonment. If the mule is caught, and a significant percentage are, they face the full force of the international legal system. They are charged not as a victim of human trafficking, but as a co-conspirator in drug smuggling. They face years or decades in a foreign prison with little to no legal representation. They become a non-person. And even then, the cartel may still attempt to threaten their family back home to ensure the mule remains silent and doesn't reveal cartel methods or contacts. Exit 3, the cartel's exit. If the mule is suspected of skimming, talking to authorities, or simply not being reliable, the cartel cuts the loss. The policy of plata or plomo is applied. An assassination sends a powerful message. This is often the quietest, cleanest end from the cartel's perspective, securing their business and terrorizing the next mule into compliance. The tragic reality is that the mule is designed to be disposable. They are the cheapest, most easily replaceable part of the operation. Once the cartel has a new generation of desperate recruits, the old ones are either in prison, dead from rupture, or living in perpetual fear. The story of the Medellín Mule is not just about a powerful drug lord who died in 1993. It's about the continued machinery of human exploitation. The life of a mule is a textbook case of modern-day slavery. The methods have changed. It's not chains, it's debt, it's threats to family. But the outcome is the total loss of a person's free will for another's profit. While the specific power structure of the Medellín cartel is historical, the practice of using human couriers persists globally. The International Labor Organization estimates that over 40 million people worldwide are trapped in modern slavery, with forced labor generating an estimated $150 billion in illegal profits annually. The drug mule, the child soldier, the debt-bonded worker, they are all victims of a multi-billion-dollar economy that thrives on the exploitation of the most desperate. The drug you see on the street, it was carried on the back of someone suffering. The mule is the ultimate sacrifice in the global drug trade. They are asked to risk their life, their freedom, and the safety of their family, all for a fee that buys nothing more than a few moments of false hope. They are the evidence that the world's most profitable crimes are built on the broken bodies of its poorest citizens. It sucks to be a drug courier for the Medellín cartel, because in the eyes of the cartel, you aren't a person. You're just a very slow, very risky walking package. Thank you for watching.